Yeah, that would be great.
Sweet, sweet. How was the first one? Did you enjoy it?
I did indeed. It was a bloodbath, as always, at the Dunker Church.
Oh yeah, it's always a good map. I love this one. I love this one for Conquest as well. The Bloody Lane one is great.
Yeah, the Bloody Lane, always a crowd pleaser as well. Just the way the map is set up is just perfect, because you got the Piper farm, you got the lane, and then you got the roulette farm.
Yeah, I like how the points of contention are in a line, because it means that usually you fight over 1 point at a time, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm very excited for this map on the campaign that we're doing.
Yeah, do you want to tell the audience about the campaign and what they can expect?
Oh yeah, sure. So basically, midway through August it'll start. Hopefully it will finish on the anniversary of the Battle of Antietam, which is the 17th of September this year. That's the 160th anniversary of the battle. We're going for something quite different with this new campaign. So rather than seeing individual companies fighting, we're going to have 3 battalions per team. Each of those battalions is probably going to be made up of 2 or 3 companies. So you'll see the units moving around a lot more realistically, how they would historically. It's definitely going to make the style of play a lot more cinematic. It's just going to be really epic. It's going to change the way things are played, so I think it'll be really interesting from the spectator's point of view. Basically what we're aiming to do is replicate specific phases of the Battle of Antietam. So, for example, we've got one scenario which is based on the attacks on the Bloody Lane, in the early late morning, early afternoon. We have scenarios for Burnside Bridge. We have scenarios for Hooker's attack, which you did a really good historical video on your channel, which was great. So yeah, it's going to be really exciting. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well. This should be a great addition to the videos on the channel, man, because the more cinematic, the better, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like the idea behind this campaign is similar to the Gettysburg event that was done recently, but we prefer not to script our events. So, obviously, for example, if we're doing the Bloody Lane scenario, which would be on the same map that we're on now, farming Fencelines, the rebels will get a chance to set up at the start of the map, where they would historically, which is obviously along the Bloody Lane. But after the initial placement of the units, it's up to our teams to determine what would have happened if we were fighting the Battle of Antietam, right? And the way that the teams are organized is going to be quite unique as well, similar to the last campaign. We're going to have an overall command staff, which will change every week. So you'll see all the old favorites like Stricker, like Frank, like myself, hopefully, if I'm a favorite, leading each team. And then below them will be the battalion staff of each battalion. So there should be about 3 battalions per team. And then below that will be the company level commanders. So, really we're trying to replicate the difficulties of commanding, in these sort of battles, sending messengers out, having a chain of command that you have to adhere to, and all that. So, it's going to be really exciting. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it sounds really exciting, and the chat is excited that you are here. They're lighting up.
Oh, fantastic.
The man, the myth, the legend, Rich Hogg.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Joe. It's always fun to do some commentary.
Well, we've started 38 minutes going on in this battle right now. Captain Eddie and the Union swinging around to the left. And we're coming straight for the
They're really rushing for the Bloody Lane. They're really rushing for it. They've got to rush for it, I think,
Absolutely. And that last match, I thought the right hook early in the match really kind of caught you guys off guard or made you guys kind of go on your heels a bit.
So, it did, yeah.
So we'll see if they can
but
do
we were able to rush the Bloody Lane quite early on that last one, so it made it difficult for the Union coming to attack that. As it stands now, the Union is on A point. The rebels are coming through the cornfield, and I think they're going to get a bit of a surprise when they get to the end of it.
Yeah, I don't think they're expecting the Union to be here, although they should be able to see that blue flag going up the pole. And they definitely got the message now.
They'll definitely know about it, yeah. I do like this Conquest map as well, because I think one of the disadvantages for some of the Conquest maps is the artillery isn't in very good positions. But on this, the artillery is in a fantastic position both for the Union and the Confederates.
Agreed. And in their historical positions.
Yeah.
So slaughtering the boys on the left-hand side, running smack into the Confederates on the other side. That's going to be 1st Virginia.
We're going to see some pretty close-up fighting across the lane here.
Absolutely, already seeing that as the Confederates pour into the lane. You see 51st New York there, as well as Anderson's division.
The 2nd US are flanking the 51st now through the corn. They've made a really good move there.
And they're hitting them from the backside, but little is going to happen as we have even more Confederates moving in. You can see them stabbing them from the back. The 20th New York, or I'm sorry, 20th Georgia here to help.
Yeah, I don't think the Rebs expected the Union to get up so quick. You know, they're going to have to work out something to take this A point, which is really crucial on this map.
Absolutely, the bloody lane itself, and the Union coming straight across the field. Straight across the lane, 6 Corps.
Yeah, the Union did a great job there.
They really did, chopping them up. And the flag trying to get out of there, Corporal Ricky.
I should imagine they're going to lick their wounds a little bit, get set on the bloody lane, and you know, consolidate their position, and let the rebels, you know, try and deal with this problem that they've got now.
Yeah, at this point you almost have to, right? You have 2 points of contention. You're draining their morale faster than they are, so just sit and wait.
Yeah, let them spend their tickets trying to take it back, you know.
Absolutely. And they've already got rebel flags laying in the dirt early in this match. We've got 35 minutes left to go. The Union in command. They're having a really strong weekend.
Yeah, they are that. Duncan Church isn't an easy one for them as well, and they did a great job on that one too.
Absolutely. So the Confederates going to have to come up with something nasty. I imagine they're going to do the original attack coming in from the left. You can see the Union pouring in from that side, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
Fort Jersey. And the IVB.
The Union could come from the right, but sorry, the Rebels could come from the right and try and flank from the right side. But this hill that the Union has with the artillery on top is quite a sort of intimidating position to sort of march up to.
Yeah, it would have to be from the Confederate left. You know, the old school position at the turn? Come across there and come down the fence line.
Yeah, yeah. And this is definitely wider than the skirmish map as well, so, you know, they definitely have a lot more options for flanking.
Yeah, I was surprised. They are way over there on that left-hand side. It's really cool. I think this is how they all should be. Like, skirmishers are cool, and there's some nostalgia involved, but from a playing perspective, this just seems like a much better system.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very excited to see how this one will play out when people have to, you know, act as battalions rather than individual units, moving a bit more slow. You know, the musketry is going to be what determines the engagements and stuff, you know.
Yep. No, it's going to be awesome. Can't wait to see it. And the Union getting a little antsy.
I think they want to take all the points, but Piper Farm's quite a far distance, or the orchard is quite a big distance away from A.
Yeah, it really is.
It looks to me that the Rebs are just going to go straight through the middle of the cornfield and just duke it out with them across the lane, maybe.
Well, and I have seen them on this map. You were talking about the boundaries being greater. I have seen on the Union left here, around that bend, just like D.H. Hill's attack, I have seen them come from that direction and be successful.
Yeah, yeah.
But you're right, they're coming across the field right in front of their own artillery now. I can see them at like little ants far, far away. Of course, the Union doesn't have that advantage.
Yeah. They're down in the trenches, they can't see anything right now.
Just wondering when the Confederates are going to pop out of the corn. Kind of a waste of ammunition if you ask me, just shooting randomly. There's nothing to shoot at.
Yeah, you don't need to be shooting into the corn. Wait for them to come up to the fence line and then shoot them before they get ready.
Exactly. Looks like 6 Corps Kind of out
You
there
know, when
guarding.
when it takes 45 seconds to reload, you want to, those loaded weapons are precious. You know, you don't want to waste them.
Absolutely. And so Slaughter and the boys, 56 Virginia on the left-hand side.
Yep.
And here come the Confederates. They are sweeping around to that bend. Just like I was talking about, there's a lot of Union over here. See if they can make it. Second Cav, Captain Eddie. Can he hold back the wave of Butternut and Gray? Here they are. Oh, they don't even see the second Cav. That tells you everything you need to know about the corn. 52nd New York just set up and fired from the flank of the Union. Didn't even see him there. And now
I'm having to rejoin quickly. Unfortunately, my computer doesn't like heat waves.
And the Union coming across, trying to counterattack this Confederate wave. They're going to hit the 20th Georgia. There's a lot of 6th Corps here. I think it says 6th and 7th Corps. Or maybe it's 4th and 6th. There's a huzzah.
2 units stacked up. They've got a lot of guys, about 30 or so.
Yeah, it's a lot of them. And you hear the huzzah with 30 minutes left. The Union in command here. And really, that was a pretty good attack and counterattack. Here come more Confederates around this side. 51st New York, along with the 3rd Alabama. Third Alabama coming in with the bayonet. Of course, the hard-hitting 3rd Alabama smashing in to the 56th Virginia. They're going to get help from the German.
They don't mess about. They don't mess about, that's for sure.
No, they don't. They're going to get help from the German Corps. Here comes Weber. And Ulti with his back to the enemy, trying to get out of here with what's left of his skin.
I heard Weber then.
Oh my god.
So funny.
And just a huge line of Union here. A really well-defended position. It's going to be hard for the Confederates to push them off.
Yeah. The Union did a good job of taking A early on. You know, like the tickets are bleeding quite heavily on the rebel side. You know, they're going to have to chase this game now.
Yeah, just like we saw in the first match, Rebels coming out on their heels. It's going to be hard to climb back to the top, especially coming through the corn. And these Union really using this lane to their advantage. These Wisconsin boys really working well, getting across the road and sweeping left and right when the Confederates come through because they're confused. They can see nothing but corn.
Yeah. And, you know, morale makes a big difference in this game. When you're marching through the corn, your lads can't see anything. They start getting a bit anxious. You know, things like that really affect it in this game when, you know, it's all players, no AI or anything like that, right?
That's right. That's why they call it a simulator, not a video game, right?
Exactly, yeah. So, say if you were Richard H. Anderson and you have to deal with this problem, what would you do, Jehovah?
The problem of coming through the corn?
The problem with coming through the corn, yeah.
Yeah, so I would avoid it, and I liked what the 51st did there on that flank. That was a good attack. I think there was just the 3rd Alabama raced in. They should have all kind of got on the fence line and just bloodied them up a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think you can do the same on the other side. I think if they come around, and they tried it this time, but they came in too short, they really need to come around all the way to the lane up here. And then hit your castle and then come that way down the fence line. It takes longer, but you can consolidate more men and come in like a solid force.
Yeah. And when you're in a good position, you gotta just trust you guys are going to outshoot the opposition. Sometimes charging in is a bit of a roll of the dice, you know.
It can be, and I mean, again, sometimes it works, and it certainly destroyed the 56th Virginia, but it's not going to take the position necessarily, right?
Yeah. Yeah, if it was me, I'd probably send one unit through the corn to try and distract the Union, and then try and push with everything else to either the right or the left. Probably the right, or the Confederate right, Union left. because if they can get on the fence line at the corner here, you know, they can really enfilade the Union quite well.
Absolutely, and that's exactly how you did it back in these days. The little rear guard or the distraction force. Lee did it many times, including at Chancellorsville.
Yeah, hammer and anvil. Just hope that your unit isn't the anvil.
Well, yeah, it's like Muhammad Ali, right? Shaking his fist, so you look at it and then he punches you in the face with the other one.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it looks like the 20th are doing a big flank round the Union left right now. I think they're planning on getting up there, taking the cannons out, and then coming down to the Union rear.
This is certainly what I was talking about. We'll see. It's 51st New York, or 52nd New York and 18th North Carolina, way out here on the flank. This would be the Union right, the Confederate left, and O'Keefe is in the van.
Yeah, and then on the opposite side you have 20th Georgia and the Anderson's division and 8th Alabama doing the same. Yeah.
And they are going up the hill. Oh man, that is the biggest part of the Army. 4 or 5 companies coming this way, and it looks like the 52nd on the other side, they're the distraction. This is the main force. Here comes Jumbo and the 20th Georgia. And this is going to be doom for these Yankee gunners.
This is a really well-timed attack. All the Confederate units are supporting each other. I think the Union still thinks there's going to be guys coming through the corn, so yeah.
Absolutely, but you can see the exodus from the front lines as the Union pour up the hill to try to stop this Confederate advance. And O'Keefe is
the
coming.
Confederates flank and the Union have to pull back. You know?
And they are getting the pincer because we do have the 52nd coming from this other side. Well, they've opened up the point of contention in the lane. Will they be able to take it while this is all going on?
Yeah, I don't know if they're just going to push straight for C instead. I mean, that's their decision. Do they try and flank A and take that, or do they just push on to C?
Yeah, why not, right? You got the high ground and the artillery. They put Tim on one of these guns up here. The Union's going to be screwed.
If they can get onto C, okay, they're going to have the Union main spawn behind them, but the main Union army is going to have to turn, and that puts the rebels in a defensive position, so giving them the advantage, of course.
Absolutely. And the Union knows it. They're trying to come back this way, but you're right. They're holding way too many forces out on that road.
Yeah.
The Confederates continuing to pour in, but the rear guard having to fight off that Union spawn, and that's going to be the 51st New York right now. We got 8th Alabama here too. James Ryan with the flag. All is right in the world again.
Yeah. He can save that flag. It never goes into the dirt when he's carrying it.
And that's what the Confederates are doing. They're coming for that point, and O'Keefe has been chased by the Union Army, and finally they meet right here at the fence line. It's going to be a bloodbath. It's Weber and the German Corps against the 52nd New York. Oh, and the German Corps taking the worst of it. Weber coming in with the sword. He's the last one alive. Not for long. But the Confederates also getting flanked now by the Irish.
Yeah, the 4th New Jersey and the IVB finished them off, but I must say the 52nd did a good job there. They're distracting the Union and allowing the rebels to get set on C point now. So.
Absolutely, and the rebels are doing just that out behind the barn.
It's a really good move, actually, because, you know, if you can't go where they are, you know, attacking A point, just go where they're not.
Absolutely, and these fields are so large, they allow you to do that. But the Confederates are taking losses. However, they're pulling down that flag on the C point.
Yeah, they're just losing a little bit of momentum now. But, you know, they've pulled enough Union off the A point that maybe the reinforcements can go and take that now.
And you see it. C point has been neutralized, so they're going to stop the bleeding as far as the morale is concerned. And they do have men in position to be able to take that spot, Rich. 3rd Alabama is here. Can they see it? Because the only Union holding this spot right now are the 6th U.S. and 83rd, and they look like to be, to me, they're moving out. That's the 56th Virginia. So I think that got their attention.
Even more Union forces pulling off A now.
Yeah, I think that got their attention that the Confederates took C.
Yeah, they're doing a good job here. I know they're behind on tickets, but you know, if they can just almost forget about C, take A, and then just defend, then they're giving themselves a good chance to take this back.
Absolutely. A great attack by the Confederates. Textbook, really.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, they were chasing the game, so they had to do something fancy, and they definitely successful with that.
And they're still here. They are going to get attacked, though. Confederates on the fence. That's Anderson's division. They're now pulling to the right as the Unions start piling up at the corner. We know this battlefield so well.
Yeah, I should imagine Andersons won't bother defending C now. They're going to flank round and try and go to A, possibly. But we'll see what they do. Oh no, maybe they are staying here, yeah.
Just trying to find a better position in this case.
Yeah, yeah.
But now the Union, it's their turn to bleed tickets, as Confederates have 2 of the points of contention.
Yeah, they definitely want to secure their cannons again, so that's why they're not going for the points of contention right now.
And starting to put men back on the point here. 6th U.S., 28th Pennsylvania have been here pretty much the whole time, and Slaughter is here as well. I tell you, when you got Captain Slaughter defending that point, it's going to count 2 for 1. Those guys know how to fight, and they know how to defend.
That's for sure, very organized. Good numbers as well, good numbers.
And the 83rd doing a little bit of that peekaboo shit. Can be effective. And it's got a little quiet on the field.
I think after that sort of craziness that happened, you know, they're kind of setting themselves, working out where the enemy is, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, trying to figure out how long it's going to be before they try to take C again, because Anderson's division, they're going to make them pay for it as they come. They're set there in old Mary Sue's front yard, just picking them off as they come up the hill. And here they come. Ooh, 3 companies coming this way. Anderson's division probably not long for this world unless they get their Nikes on.
I think that they'll fall back. They'll fall back before it gets too hot. But you know, we'll see how they go.
They did not stop.
He thought they were going to stop. He's like, damn, they did not stop. And here they come.
Yeah, they need to fall back.
Yep.
Their left is turned.
They've done it, and you can see in the background as they're falling back, Union soldiers in the yard. All right, we got the rebel yell, so now the Union is engaged. As you can see, the Union have a powerful advantage still this late in the match. Tiberius.
Yeah. If the rebel team can strike A now and take it, they can set the defense on A, and then they've got a really good chance in this battle. I think that's their only chance, actually.
Looks like they might be doing it. Tiberius is going to come up and help. Right now, we've got 52nd New York, O'Keefe and the boys hitting the flank of Slaughter, and he's going to have more Confederates coming up over this hill.
There's a rebel unit flanking the A point right now.
Absolutely.
From the Union right. 52nd are in a great position. Yeah, 52nd and 18th.
Yep, and O'Keefe just firing volleys, and I thought maybe Anderson's would come straight over the hill, but they're kind of moved around to the corner here, kind of regrouping. I think they know they're going to get attacked, and they're getting ready to defend. And now the Union have taken back the advantage. So can the Confederates get enough grouped up to be able to take point A before it's too late?
Yeah, Tiberius is pulling back, so I think he's going to turn and push on A now. You know, they realise that they're 2 points to 1 right now, and they're bleeding tickets. So, and I must say, the 52nd and the 18th have almost single-handedly cleared A, so they're doing a great job.
They are pushing, but there's a lot of Yankees here.
Yeah, either they need reinforcements from Anderson's, or they need the rest of the rebel team to come from the opposite flank.
Well, here comes Anderson's. Tiberius in the van bringing his boys in to the point of contention. That's got to be a good sight to see, huh?
Yeah, see if they can do it with the bayonet.
Here they come.
Union reinforcements coming in now, though.
Oh, Union coming from behind. And this could be deadly.
Yeah, they really need some support. All these rebel units on the right flank really need to go to A now.
And you can see the Wisconsin boys, the cheeseheads, coming in. Wreaking havoc, but we do have men absolutely just fighting over this flagpole here. Rebels desperately trying to get it on there, but just couldn't do it. Parker and Slaughter and the boys coming in.
Here comes the 3rd Alabama. They're doing what they need to do. A little bit late, but you know they're getting into the position they need to be in now. So I think they can do some good damage here.
Here they go. While the Union slapping asses and high-fiving for the victory, they're going to get hit by the 3rd Alabama.
And the 20th are coming up too. So maybe A isn't lost for the rebels.
He said, "Oh no." Here they come.
Few more minutes and the rest of the rebel reinforcements will be able to come in for A, and maybe they can hold it. We'll see.
Well, the Union in the position of the old 53rd. And they're going to counterattack. I heard them say charge. Here they go. Captain Lucian in the front with the sword. Still alive. The Union absolutely sweeping in over these rebels. Dude, I tell you what, these cheeseheads can fight, man. These Wisconsin boys are doing a damn good job.
Not messing around, yeah.
Not playing. They know where they need to be. They're not afraid to attack a position, and they're very mobile. Welcome to the UEC, boys. That's good-looking fighting right there.
Yeah. It was a good effort from the rebel team. They were close to getting that A point, getting set for the defense. But the Union reinforcements just came in inopportune time for the rebels.
Absolutely.
And we got some more action at the Union artillery as well.
Oh, shit. Speaking of Union and artillery, we just got a whole bunch of Yankee jam right there at the point of contention. And if Tim has you, yeah, if Tim has you dialed in, you had better move, and they're doing it.
I don't know what Tim can see from his position. Can he even see what he's shooting at?
I don't know, but he just hit a lot of them.
Yeah, they're almost firing blind, but I mean, it just shows you how amazing they are and how well drilled they are.
Yeah, they're just shooting for that flag, you know what I mean?
They're shooting for the flagpole, yeah.
Yeah, shooting for the flagpole, hitting what they can. And they are hitting them. But the Union not deterred. They're still here. Hey, there's Shell Shock. Yeah, these old cheeseheads, man. Good fighters. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Because it takes a while to kind of get up to speed with some of these units, because you guys have been playing together so long.
Oh, yeah. I don't even know how many years now. 4 or 5, something like that.
Yeah, I've been filming for 3. So.
Yeah, yeah.
Here comes Tiberius and Anderson's. All right, now the Confederates are breaking, and this could be disaster.
Yeah, it's crucial for them to get the A point, but they really need to attack as one force.
I agree.
You know, going in piecemeal is just...
Yeah, we know how that happened in real life in these wars. One brigade at a time, one division at a time, and they would just get chewed up.
Yeah.
And they're going to pass right into the open field in front of the Union. Still holding them together. They're going to reach the fence line. But here comes Slaughter and the Virginians. Oh, and Anderson's just not having anything left. James Ryan's got a musket, but now he's dead. Yeah, and that's a... Go ahead.
I think Private Buzz has managed to run away though.
Yeah, he might. But that's a perfect example of what you're talking about right there.
Yeah, yeah. Like, if you don't have a unit fixing the enemy, like coming through the middle, they can just, you know, switch their flank and meet you. It was a good move from Alabama. The Union were able to just shift, you know.
Well, this is the tack I was looking for. O'Keefe is doing it. 52nd New York and the 18th North Carolina coming down the road on that far flank. They're going to get over the fence, go right down on the backside of these Union.
It worked well last time, so why not just do it again, right?
That's right. But they got these cheeseheads to deal with. .52nd New York laying them down. Cheeseheads are not impressed. They are firing back. And the 1st Virginians come up to help. Oh, look at this crazy bastard. Arc. That's what I call going right up into enemy fire to get that flag. Well done.
Yeah, the Union are doing really good supporting where they need to. It's making it very tough for the Rebels right now.
Yeah, Union playing a very disciplined defense here.
Parker looks like he's doing an aggressive move here with the 6th US. Trying to flank the flankers, I think.
See him out there in the woods. They are trying that flank attack again, but the Union's ready for it this time. It's like they've been watching their backside, waiting for it to happen, and as it does and it develops, they're ready for it. Here they are. It's the Irish in the 4th New Jersey, and this time, no sneaky for Jumbo in the 20th Georgia. And they're going to be held on the fence.
Yeah, it's a bit difficult going right because, you know, you can get tied up with Union infantry and you're not fighting over a point of contention. So when you're chasing the game like this, it can make it quite difficult.
Especially with only 10 minutes left to go and your team is breaking. This is do or die time for the Confederates. And if they can't get a strong enough force to take this point, they're going to be in a lot of trouble.
But the 52nd and the 18th are still alive at the A point, still duking it out with the cheeseheads. So, you know, they just need one more rebel unit to come in and sweep them, and then they can take A.
Absolutely correct. 56 Virginia, German Corps here as well. A lot of Unions still at this spot.
The 52nd are doing a good job not to get themselves killed and keep the option there, you know.
Yeah, that snake rail fence is handy. I'm just waiting to see when the Union decides they have more men and come in for the charge.
Yeah, I think they could, to be fair, yeah.
Well, and the one thing that this kind of hurts you...
Here they go, yeah, they're charging.
Well, and the one thing that this hurts you is Tim can't fire his guns in here because he's afraid he's going to hit his own men.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So either take it or not, right? And the Rebels are running for it.
Yeah, they've closed the door on them now. Now it's going to be very tough for the Rebels to take A.
9 minutes to go, and no large Rebel force in sight. So well done by the Union again.
Yeah. I mean, that lane is just incredibly important on this map. You know, whoever gets there first has got a clear advantage. Like,
it's a race.
You know, you can imagine what the rebel commanders were like at Antietam when they saw people about facing forward marching and running out of the lanes,
yeah,
giving up the position, you know.
Yeah, when they were technically winning.
Yeah, they're like, you know, just wanted to refuse the right flank, didn't want to run away.
Well, and the Union just kind of chilling at the front, waiting for the attack to come in. 8 minutes left.
I'm very looking forward to this map on the campaign that we've got planned, though. You know, in terms of UEC representation, we have about 6 units, I think, in the UEC that are represented on this map historically.
Absolutely, and here comes Anderson's division. charging into the point of contention. They're not just going to stand there and shoot you. They're coming with the cold steel. Can they do it? Union's tenacious defense still holding out.
Yeah, they're not going to give it up easy.
And the boys kind of gave up on the steal here, getting onesie-twosies in the back.
Yeah, second US came up back and shut the door on them, yeah.
Absolutely. Nowhere to escape when you're this close to the point of contention, and still a massive Union presence at this spot. Last stand, and this is it. So
yeah, you can really see how the teamwork's important. You know, I mean, okay, the Union got the good defensive positions early on, but you know, they support each other very well. You know, when you have to flank, as the Rebels did, you know, it strings your units out so they can't support each other as well. You know, it's almost like Gettysburg, right, where they go on about the strong interior lines, you know, not being able to travel as far as the attacking team when you're supporting each other, you know.
Absolutely. And you can see it, that's one of the things about these Conquest maps. They're so large, you have to deal with the size of the map.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, it doesn't look like the Confederates are going to be able to put together a consolidated attack, so this may be the match right here.
Yeah. Of course, last stand, so any casualties that they incur now, they don't get respawns for them, so...
This is it, and if they come in onesie-twosies, it's going to be easy work for the Union. Ooh, more artillery hitting the Union position. Tim hit him so hard it knocked the flag over the fence.
Yeah, the ragdolls are always a good touch in this game. Alright, so the 52nd are doing the same move again. I think this time they'll probably be a little less aggressive. Maybe take a position on the rocks and just deliver some volleys to the Union flank.
Absolutely. It's like you've played with these guys before, Rich. That's exactly what they're doing. O'Keefe in the rocks. Yeah, they want to conserve as many of their tickets as they possibly can, because the Union's only engaged. Ooh, another large artillery blast.
Taking down the flag.
Just hitting it solid every time. I'm just going to keep my eyes on the green flag. It's going to explode here in about 30 seconds.
What flag is that? It's the Irish Brigade, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, when we play this map on the campaign, we have 3rd Alabama from Rhodes Division. We're in the Sunken Lane. 8th Alabama and 8th Florida came into the Sunken Lane, reinforcing with Anderson's division. And then on the Union team, you had the 52nd and the 2nd Delaware in the same brigade, I think. Along with the 88th, like the Irish guys, right? So, you know, I'm sure when we play this on the campaign, it's going to be very competitive.
20th New York fought on near the Dunker Church.
Oh, did they? Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Oh, another large blast. Yankee Jam is the course of the day. And now the Union taking losses, but it might be too little too late. They are trying to pull back away from this position, though. Too much artillery fire.
Yeah, yeah. The Union are pushing quite heavy, like the 4th New Jersey over here.
On the point
really
of contention.
aggressive, yeah.
Well, they know if they can replenish their men, but the Confederates can't.
Yeah, exactly. They can afford to incur some losses.
And it's Anderson's division getting hung up on the road here by the 4th Jersey. Not able to even get to the point of contention right now. It's a mixed bag. We got 4th Jersey here, 20th. New York's here. Captain Victor just got shot. Yeah, that's going to be a real traffic jam. All right, we've got Confederates coming in to the point.
Wow,
here.
that artillery is just incredible. They just smashed one of the Union units again with the artillery. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, and from their position, let's go take a look from their position, what they can see from the ground.
Honestly, they can't see anything. Like, you know, they're firing blind, I think, but doing it very well.
Well, so Tim is up here. No, that's Sergeant Fork up here on a actually artillery piece.
Oh, maybe you can see where he's aiming then.
Well, you know, you really can't see over the top of the corn, but you can see the flags. So they're aiming for flag bearers.
Yeah, yeah.
7th Board, the 7th.
You can't fault the artillery on either team. Both have done well.
Yeah, these guys are really raking up the kills. And there are limbers flipped upside down, cannons flipped upside down. So that is Union artillery doing their job as well.
Counter battery fire.
Oh my God, I heard charge. There's not a lot of Confederates left here. O'Keefe trying to hold his men together, but this might be it. They don't have a lot of tickets to spare. 2nd Cav.
I think the 52nd and 18th did a very good job on that left flank, though. You know, a few more things going in their way, and maybe they could have taken that A point.
Yeah, I think another company going their way would have helped, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's just too hard when you got all that weaponry in your face.
So it looks like Anderson's division, last guys alive at the moment. Let's see what they can do.
Tiberius holding his men together. Got some remnants of the 1st Virginia with him also.
Looks like they're going to catch some Union out.
Prepare for charge is what I heard. Here we go. And as the Union trying to get back to the front, the Cheeseheads caught off guard, but there's a lot of them and not so many rebels left. This could be the end of the match.
It was an honorable effort.
But MVP of the match, in my opinion, go to the Cheeseheads. These boys from Wisconsin really showing their stuff today. Well done.
Yeah, very well defended from the Union. Taking that A point early on was really crucial for them. The rebels did some good attacks, but just weren't quite able to take that A point and turn the battle around, you know.
Yeah, it never seemed coordinated enough to really get that done, I think. Just not a, I mean, they were well coordinated, don't get me wrong. It's the not enough men in one spot.
Yeah, yeah. That's the problem. If you're going around them, you're going to get more strung out. If the defenders concentrate, then they can really punish that.
All right, well, that's the match. Rich, I want to thank you for joining me, my friend.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Joe. I hope it was an enjoyable one for you viewers.
Of course, always is. So if you guys like that, hit that like button. Consider subscribing. Until next time, my name is Jehovah, and I'll catch you later. Goodbye. All right, bullshit over. Now we can just chill. So yeah, it was a good map, dude. The Union really showed me something this weekend, because I didn't think they were going to be able to do all that.
Yeah, Rebels had a good team today.
They did. 1,200 casualties, over 1,200 casualties.
Well, Union took over almost 100 more casualties than the Rebels. It really shows you how much the tickets bleed if you're not taking the points, you know?
Yeah, so even though you're killing more of them than they are of you, you still lost.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Like,
Just
quite significantly as well, like taking losses to no tickets, basically.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible. That's what I think this Conquest, it's really kind of the future. And to be honest, man, when these servers get bigger, these Conquest maps could get bigger as well. Stretch those things out, make those point of contentions further away.
Yeah, if you can get it so you can have a stretched line all the way across the lane, like from one, you know, flank to the other, you know, then we're really going to see the Civil War type of combat, you know.
Yeah, it would be incredible just to have all those men in that lane. All right, guys. Well, that's about it for me today. Thank you again, Rich. I do appreciate it, my friend. Hey, and for you guys, if you don't know, I'm going to get this guy to come to the U.S. We're going to go see Antietam for ourselves.
Yeah, not too long, and hopefully we'll be walking it for real.
Yeah, it'd be great, man. So I'm looking forward to that as well.
Yeah, we'll do some filming. We'll film a few things.
All right, guys. Until next time, I'll catch you later. Goodbye.